Well, good morning, you guys. Moving right along. Okay. Oh, can you see my painting getting closer and closer to being done? I'm working on that bottom part there. Anyways, good morning. Um, kind of not sure where we left off. Maybe somewhere around Exodus, or at least this idea of Moses entering into this realm of conversation with God. All right, he has to go up on the mountaintop or to a mountain. Now, how this is working is that this whole thing is working out as a meditation event. Okay, we're getting the flip side of something that we are told in the Bible is the thief, which means we don't get when the thief comes and steals from us and takes from us. Then you'll find that this is this the turning over back turning back into someone who's connected to God. All right, he's going to take away what they put in you. All right, and that's the whole point of all the sterilization and all this fire and burning and consuming and stuff like that. Because what we get out of this is when when uh, when Moses kills this Egyptian. All right, that's the killing of the self. That's the beginning of this idea of purification, trying to keep pure yourself, to purify yourself. When we go into meditation, it's a type of killing. So the person that's outside is going through this procedure, right? He's already shown up as a child, being dropped, put out into water. That's the beginning of meditation. Well, this idea of the two witnesses seeing him kill this person and him taking off, and now he's at the well he's at a well, and some girls come, and he meets the priest of Midian, which is the talking about the inside of us. Remember now, when people talk to God, and he's met up with these girls at the well. This is an inside thing. They're all in spirit here. This is not a real human being that's doing this. We haven't been introduced to this human being. Basically, what we get is this person or entity named Moses. All right, and he is being called. God is calling on him to to save his people. He says, "I've been around. I've been just listening to the stories, and all of that slavery and all that business is just. I'd like to get you out of that. I'd like to take you away from that. I want to take my people out. That's what I want to do." Well, he was marveling over this idea of this burning bush that just burned, but it didn't consume. Well, that's what happens to us in this meditation situation. This is wrath. This is God's wrath. And it shows that, it may cleanse you of all of this hell and sins, which is what you're up there to do, is to cleanse you, is to get rid of all your sins. And we find out in the Bible that the one sin, the only sin that it's talking about is being disconnected from God. So when you go into this meditation situation, you're coming to connect with God. And you come because God called you. All right. And he says, I want you to come up here to this mountain to worship me. When you guys get all done with your business, I want you to come up here and worship me. Well, when they all came up, they didn't go up to the mountain. It was only Moses that goes up to the mountain while they sat on the outside worshiping this bull. You got to kill the bull. So all these stories are still working within the set. You got to kill the outside of us in order to go on this trip. And so that's the first thing. He kills the Egyptian. Next thing you know, he's at the water. And now water in the Old Testament is a well, but it's also a stream, it's a river, it's a sea. It's always this female part is water. It's about going into to the truth. That's what this idea is about. And of course, later on, well, let's get past this burning bushes. The idea that when we go into meditation, not one single part of our hair or anything is gone. This is like the lion, not the lion's den, but when they all get tossed into the furnace later on in these stories, you know, and God comes in and says, didn't we put three people in there? Well, there's a fourth one walking around with them. What is that? And nothing was touched on their heads. This is like the bush, the burning bush. It consumes, but it doesn't consume. You know, it leaves you perfectly well. And this bush is you. This is you're symbolized as bushes, trees, plants, stuff like that. Even the vine is represented, you know, it's the Kundalini is represented as a vine, or later, or in most cases, it's the snake, all right? But we got two of these. We've got duality going on. So when we are disconnected from God, our chakra system only goes up so far, and no one's allowed over the sixth chakra. So the divine is cut off right there. In fact, where I think divine is actually cut off, I've been saying sixth chakra, but the lower, the Baphomet, the Baphomet business that we have here, the sculpture, his Kundalini only comes up to the third chakra. So I think that's as far as the lower mind goes. This is it. That's it, point. Because when we go down in meditation, this third chakra goes down too. That represents our skin. So I think that's as far as they get. All right, is the third chakra, the solar plexus. So with that out of the way, you would know that when you make it up to the seventh chakra, and this is fire and brimstones and stars fall from the skies to the earth. This is the Christian nightmare. But in reality, it's whoever follows Christ, whoever is ones that want to hook up with God. This is what it means for the stars in the skies to come fall into earth. Because it's not the earth outside, it's your mind. And this is where everything is. This is now God dwelling with you. And it didn't hurt. You didn't lose a hair on your head when you did this. It's a beautiful thing and it's an easy thing. Just got to get up there and do it. And that's really cool. All right. Now that's how it works. Remember, he had to take his shoes off. This is holy ground, you know. So you have to understand that, you know, that's the whole idea is spirit. God is spirit. And when we speak to God, we also have to be in spirit. It says so in the Bible. Chat with you soon.